Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Man here. Hope you know well. This weekend we had a new movie come out, How to Train Your Dragon. Can't go there. This is a remake of the animated movie How to Train Your Dragon that came out 15 years ago. Yes, only 15 years ago in 2010. This is now the shortest amount of time between an animated film and a live-action film. 15 years. I was only a sophomore in college, spring quarter, when the first movie came out. And I was actually late to the party. I did not go to that party. I did not see the animated film until that fall of 2010. I'm pretty sure it was either fall or the following spring of 2011. I don't know, this one did not come on my radar right away. This is a Dreamworks animated, the original was a Dreamworks animated film. Dreamworks was not hitting it high lately. The Shrek movies were not doing well. And they really weren't putting much out at the time. So this one kind of went under the radar for me. But then when I saw it, like either the fall of 2010 or the spring of 2011 or around that time, I actually really enjoyed the film. I was pleasantly surprised by the movie. And then when the sequel came out in 2014, that just celebrated its anniversary yesterday, its 11th anniversary. I saw that one in the theater. Then when the third one came out in 2019, I ended up seeing that one in the theater. So I have become a fan of How to Train Your Dragon. And I was looking forward to the live action movie. I mean, you got dragons. You got dragons. Who don't like dragons? I mean, this is the summer of the double Ds. No, not that type of double Ds. I'm talking about dragons and dinosaurs. We got a new Jurassic Park movie coming out in a couple of weeks. So, we got a summer of double Ds. Now, if you also get to see or grab a pair of double Ds, then you're really in luck this summer. You got two movies with D in them, and you got a pair of double Ds. Well, let me rephrase that one. Because in this climate, in this day, that can be even scarier. If she's a female and she has double Ds, a real female. Real. Not, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You got double Ds over there, you got two movies with the letter D in them. Dinosaurs and dragons. That's pretty good. That's a good summer for you, my friend. But now we got the live action version. I was looking forward to it. When they announced that Gerard Butler, King Leonidas, is going to be who he was the voice of the father in the animated films. He was going to come in and play the live action version. I was like, yeah, we got motherfucking Gerard Butler. I mean, come on, people. Gerard Butler as a Viking in live action with that voice of his. Genius. I was so excited. I was like, oh yeah, Gerard Butler fighting dragons again. That's right, my friends. Again. Round 2 with the dragons. People are like, what the fuck is he talking about? 23 years ago, in the summer of 2002, Gerard Butler was fighting dragons with Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey in Reign of Fire. Even though at that time no one knew the name Gerard Butler, he was completely unknown. Even Christian Bale wasn't a household name yet because it was still 3 years until Batman Begins. But the only draw to that movie was fucking dragons and Matthew McConaughey fighting fucking dragons. It was a win-win. Mr. Rom-Com guy at the time is fighting dragons. Oh yes, please. How to Train Your Dragon. Not the one down there. that's a whole different conversation. But the actual live action movie, how it's portraying your dragon. Positive. Mason Thames plays our main character, Hiccup. In the original animated films, Hiccup was voiced by Jay Barencol, which was like the perfect casting for a dweeb, skinny, nothing character. I mean, he was just coming off of She's Out of My League that same time, where he played the weak, nerdy, skinny dweeb who gets the hot girl. And, now he's in this movie doing the voice. Perfect casting. And everyone thought, oh, I wonder who they're going to get to play the live action version. And Mason Thames, who people might recognize from Black Phone, the movie that came out 3 years ago with Ethan Hawke. I can say he does a great job. He not only embodies Hiccup, but he makes it his own, where he's not trying to be the same Hiccup, Jay Barencol's, voice or whatever. He's weird, not weird in a bad way, but, weird. Nerdy, he's scared and hesitant around Astrid, the main female character. He gets all tongue-tied when he's trying to talk to her, nervous, flushed. The way he is with him, nobody likes him. He's claiming that he's a dweeb, but he's the son of the chief, the leader, Gerard Butler. His dynamic with his father is great throughout the movie. Like I said, Mason, his relationship with Toothless, the dragon, some of the best moments. Like I said, I was a little bit hesitant with him, and I thought, I don't know if he's the right guy. And then you watch the movie and you go, yeah, he's the right guy. Also, Nico Parker plays Astrid. And a lot of people were mad that they cast Nico Parker, the daughter of Sandy Newton, from Mission Impossible 2. Anyway, The Pursuit of Happiness, Crash. Anyway, everyone was mad that they cast her because she's not white. In the animated film, she's white. She's white with blonde hair. And you know what? This is one of those casting where I don't really care because he's not the main character. And you know what? She actually does a really good job. I think they really did a really good job even bringing her more, the character Astrid, more to life in this one than even in the animated film. She doesn't like Hiccup, not because he's a dweeb, but because he is the son of a leader. He is royalty. Whatever daddy wants from him, he'll get. And she's the one that has to work her way up. And I really like that character development of this character. And also, thank you Dreamworks, and thank you the director who also directed the original, for not making her a girl boss. Unlike Disney, she is her own person. And even when Hiccup is doing what he's doing, she doesn't try to up him. There's none of that. I like that. Gerard Butler. Okay, I'm going to admit, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I was a little nervous with Gerard Butler. I think the wardrobe kind of gave me this oh, this kind of feels out of place. But then when you watch the movie, Gerard Butler is the MVP of this movie. He's so good. He's so funny throughout the movie. And not in a goofy way, but in a real, father-son way. And, his line delivery but he's also that leader, that chief, that he would be the alpha, just like King Leonidas. And, like I said, I walked out of this movie going, but then he can bring the emotional moments in, the third act. And I was like, you know what? I was happy that Gerard Butler came back. This is not one of those scenarios we're going to bring back James Earl Jones to do the voice of Mufasa, with the live action Lion King, but it doesn't work. Because Lion King now is like 30 years later, and James Earl Jones is over 30 years older now. He's like in his 80s, trying to do the voice of Mufasa. Don't work. Or when they brought back Tia Carrera for the new Lilo and Stitch, who did the voice of Nani in the original, and then in the movie, live action movie, she's a social worker, and don't really give her much to do. Here, Gerard Butler is a presence. He is a character that you follow through the whole movie. His dynamic with his son is great. There's a lot of funny moments. And I cannot wait to see him in the second one. I'll be very curious with what happens in the second one. If they try to extend that longer. Because I want to see more of Gerard Butler. Yeah, this is another thing people were worried about. Because in the animated films, it's animated. The dragons look more friendly, more colorful, more animated dragons. Dragons. Are they going to go with that look for the movie, the live action? Or are they going to try to make them look like realistic dragons, like in Game of Thrones, like in Reign of Fire? What kind of dragon are we going to get? And I have to say, I think they did a great job. I was never felt like, oh, these dragons, they don't fit this live action universe. No, they fit well. Even Hiccup, where they pretty much made them the same design, the same look. But yeah, they made them look more realistic as a dragon. And like I said, the CGI looked great. I never was watching the movie and going, that CGI don't look good. No good CGI. Like in some of the Marvel movies. No good CG. Humor, like I said, this movie's very funny. There's adult humor. There's just humor in general between Hiccup and the other people in the village. Like that is back and forth with his father in moments. There's a lot of great humor in this movie. Now, I don't even remember the original being this funny. So, you're going to laugh throughout the movie. Or, like I said, the music is exactly the same from the original, and that score in the original was perfect. So they just brought it back, and it works perfectly well. Also, Nick Frost, I forgot about him. Nick Frost is in here. He plays like the dude who's training all these kids to be dragon fighters, dragon hunters. And even he's a memorable character. And he's going to be playing Hagrid in the Harry Potter TV show. And in here he was great. I love this character in this movie. I mean, you go back to like Hot Fuzz and a lot of those movies with Simon Pegg. And he just does a great job here. The pacing, this movie's about 20 minutes longer than the original, which isn't bad because it's still under a 2-hour movie. And I thought the pacing worked well. Another thing that Disney needs to, understand, we don't need over 2-hour movies like this when the original was only 90 minutes or shorter. If you can keep it about 15 to 20 minutes longer, fine. And they do add a couple more stuff in here. Not much. It is pretty much a remake of the original. They don't stray away too much. And to me, it still works. Some of my negatives with this movie. I did think some of the side characters outside of Astrid maybe needed a little bit more development. I mean, they all each have their moment. But like, there's two that are two redheads. I think they're either brother and sister or cousins. I wish we got more screen time with them. Maybe some more quieter moments. Also, one with this boy and his father, which is pretty funny. I wish we had like a moment with them, like a quieter moment. Instead of just playing it for laughs every time they're together. So I like that maybe they'll develop that more in the sequel. Also, I mean, this movie's a little too clean. clean. Wax on, wax off. A little too much of that. It's colorful, it's vibrant. But I felt like when the movie with Vikings, living basically outside most of their lives in little huts and dealing with dragons. You look at a movie like A Reign of Fire or even like a Game of Thrones episode. It's dirty. It's, the people aren't clean. They look dirty. They look grummy. It looks gritty. I'm not saying you gotta make the whole movie bleak or realistic, but I think a little bit more dirtiness, if you will, that made it more lived in, more realistic, would have been great rather than the shiny, colorful, vibrant cinematography or the look of the village, you know what I mean? So maybe we can dirty up the next one a little bit and feel more lived in. I think this is easily one of the best animated to live action remakes. I'm not joking when I say that. I would definitely, I think Aladdin for the Disney movies has been the best of the best so far. But I would actually put this movie up there. Like up there with Aladdin. Maybe even higher, because even near the end of the movie, even knowing the original and how it ends, I got a little emotional. And I'm like, I know how this movie ends. Why am I getting emotional? But because you feel the characters, and you feel the emotion, and the heart, and the acting. And it all works. So, I would easily give this like a 4.8 out of 5. I think this is easily one of the best remakes from animated to live action we've seen. Now, did we need it? No. But am I glad they made it? Yes. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with How to Train Your Dragon 2, which is already greenlit for 2027, only 2 years away. So let me know in the comments below, did you see the new live action How to Train Your Dragon? Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the movie. Are you a fan of the original animated films? Let me know. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, Matt the Matt.